Okay, so first things first. Who do we got as characters here? So the obvious first here is we need where's Show? Where's Show? He's got a profile, right? His face is in profile. Do we not have Show on the list? Where is he? Oh yeah, obviously S tier. Like you saw, the dual fireball is just oppressive, just completely oppressive. The other person I want to put in early is Ellie, and what's his name? EG. I feel like EG is the best of like the normal characters, and then Ellie is close second. Ellie to me feels like the most well-rounded and interesting character in the game, insofar as like she's got good mobility, she's got a good dash, she's got good, quick jabs that come out, and a dependable throw, and she has a projectile, but none of anything is like super duper cheap feeling. That makes sense. There's no like auto 20 hit combo that does 25% of your life like Uranus has or whatever, or full screen unblockable projectiles like Gaia. But yeah, so I'm gonna start with that. I think that that Gaia is definitely better than Gaia 2. I would even put Gaia 2 maybe here, like in a worse than EG, because I feel like it just doesn't really have the toolkit in order to deal with like the full screen easy peasy fireballs that this guy has access to. But it's better than Ellie in that Ellie doesn't really have the way of getting in and checking all of the big damage and full screen attacks that Gaia 2 has. Gaia, I think, is higher up than Uranus, although I would put Uranus higher than EG. Uranus has a lot of stupid attacks that are not really that good, but also just like an oppressive number of projectiles, a grab that does 25% of your life bar, which you can pretty much do for more or less for free on any getup. And then things like the fire breath attack that does like 25% of your life and pretty much guarantees a ring out if you get it in the corner. That's why I'm putting her there. And also that high kick that does like puts you into knockdown and does like 25% of your health is kind of nuts. Who's the worst? I feel like Mondo is pretty not very good. We always picked Mondo to train against because he's so harmless. Rungo has got to be like low. He's an interesting character, and he's got some attacks that do like a ton of damage, but he just doesn't have the get in. We got this guy with like full screen double fireballs coming at you. Like this is what are you supposed to do about it if you're just like a guy with a baseball bat? So I mean, like in a different world where he had like better approach options or whatnot, I could definitely see Rungo being like even in B tier, but it just like he's a big model, big boy. And he just has no way of reliably getting in. He's got some projectiles, which are kind of useless because they're so slow. And anybody that you would use against already has a projectile who's going to get in faster than you. This boy here, Kain, is like solid B tier. He's just sort of like not that interesting. He's just sort of a character. I'm going to put Foe here. He's got some of the abilities that like help him move around and get in, but a lot of them are really vulnerable. Like his slide attack on the ground really covers a lot of area. It's like a really fast dash, but it gets stuffed out by any projectile, right? So it's like a projectile with a hurt box, right? Which is not very good. I'd still say he's better than Mondo, but he's definitely worse than Rungo. Sophie I'd also put around in B. I don't think. Nah, I'm gonna put her. The length of her whip gives her ability to space people out a little bit. That I think makes her a better defensive option than this fella, who kind of has to go unga bunga. Because in these cases, their projectiles would cancel each other out. But her whip is going to stuff them out a bunch of the time. And she's got like a good knockdown slide and some overhead anti-air stuff, what this guy didn't really have. He's kind of like Argier EG, but just worse. I think Duke is pretty bad. I'm having a hard time figuring out whether or not I should put him here in the back of C. Or in somewhere in this range. He's definitely better than Rango is, or whatever his name is, Mondo. Because he just does a ton of damage. And he has a projectile that's actually really not so bad. He just has trouble using it, right? I think it's reactable. So I think he's probably better than Rungo Iron and his uranium mine. What a backstory. But not by much. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. Show is definitely the best. Mondo is definitely the worst. Ellie, I think, is like your like, that's the character in the game that feels the sort of the most interesting to me, the best, like, well-rounded. Where probably the other characters would be better if they focused around, you know what I mean? Like if you were worried about like a competitive format, you'd bump these guys down and then boost all these fellas up to try to be like a similar power level as Ellie. That's what I would say. All right. There we go. Title the tier list. Gotta title it again? God, I've done this 100 times today. Battle Arena Toshinden DMG. That's just what I'm saying. Okay. That's gonna be a stream. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for playing some Battle Arena with me. Hope everybody has a good night. Au revoir.